going on, everyone? This is the Right Kazi here, and I'm finally ready to actually give you all some details of everything that's been going on here in the life of the Right Kazi. So, basically, I know it's been a while since I've actually done a vlog in itself, and it's because there's been a lot going on, and I wasn't really even sure how to really come out and talk about everything that was in fact transpiring. I'm in the car right now. Don't worry, I'm not driving at the same time. As you can see, I'm kind of stationary, but because I just needed to make sure I was focused, and I can get you all the details right here real quick. So, first and foremost, as you all may have noticed that, like with a lot of the videos in which I've been doing, you would typically see me doing different shiny hunts, and usually everything that I was doing at the exact same time, I was studying. I was usually flipping through pages and things like that, and I'll look at the screen occasionally, see if the Pokemon that showed up was probably shiny. If it wasn't, then I'll just reset it and I keep going doing my schoolwork. Because the semester has been, well, semesters had been growing and growing more and more difficult. Me, for those of you who don't know, that I'm in nursing school, and it has been extremely bit of a challenge. After I made it through the first year, everything was perfectly fine. First year, actually, the last semester was extremely difficult because of mental health. It was the worst ever. I read the book. The book was actually hurting me because the teacher did it her own way. It was insane. Passed it by the skin of my teeth. But then the next semester came up, and we had this thing called Med-Surg, and I was taking Med-Surg, and at that time it was pediatrics. Pediatrics, I actually brought my grade up really well. Everything was going fine in that. But Med-Surg was having a bit of a tough time, and I had a study group, and we were really working our best to try to pass this course, because if you failed any of your courses in nursing school, it's not like your regular college classes where you can just pay and take it again. If you fail a course, you're out of the program whatsoever. Now, your Med-Surg course is like, they call it your core class, and pediatrics would be like a specialty, mental health is a specialty, and women's health is also another specialty. They require you to take the specialty courses, but your core class, if you fail it, you're definitely out of the program, so you have to make sure you pass that. You may be able to get back in if you fail the one of the specialty courses and retake it, but that's not even a guarantee. So we were working really hard to bring up our grade, because these exams are insane. I'm telling you, they're insane. But it came down to it, me and my study group were working hard. We're trying to bring up our grade in itself, and I got to the point on the last exam, the final in itself. I brought my grade up to a point on the final where I basically only needed like a 60. Let's say, I can't remember the exact score, so let's say for lack of better terms, it was a 68. And I actually firmly believe it was a 68. Needed just a 68 to pass the course. So I was like, okay, I should be fine. Shouldn't have any worries. I just lightly study, and I should be able to be good to go. And my main person that I study with needed another grade, and we were just like, okay, we can get this. Let's just pull this and get this all taken care of. So all the exams, they started lightening up, and we were just like, all right, boom. By the final, we should be good. We should be awesome to pass the course. Everything will be fine. That final was the hardest exam we have ever had. It was the worst. And I walk in there, I'm like, okay, well, surely I pulled a 68. It's not even passing, because the passing is a 78. So I was like, sure, I can get that. I got out of there with a 67. I was like, oh no, what have I done? But I knew that, I was like, surely I'm going to get a point back, because I usually go through the questions, and if there were bad questions or something like that, you get something back and you'll be fine. So I knew I was going to get a point back, because I knew there's some questions I was wrong. And at the end, I got like, I don't know, it was like almost the whole class just had a really bad time on that exam. And I made it, and that was great. But unfortunately, my main study partner didn't. She was not able to get the grade that we needed to pull it out, and they would not work with her. and I lost my study partner because she was out of the program at that point in time. So that was tough. That was really difficult for me. And then I was like, so now I'm about to go into the final semester of school, and I don't know, I'm going to have to change my entire... I studied on my own, so granted that, but, that added feature of working with somebody else and, doing those studies and things, losing that factor, you wonder whether or not if you're going to do as well or if you're going to do worse or do better. So you don't know, and that was really tough for me, and we're trying to help her through it, and that was rough. You develop friends and everything, family, and then you lose them because they're out of the program. So that was a rough time. Then the final semester started. Final semester, the first exam started off as rough as the final exam from the prior semester. But I actually ended up passing that exam. It was still, a lot of people had to end up pulling their grade up over time. But women's health, oh my gosh, that class was insane. I studied my butt off for it, and first exam, like I said, passing as a 78. I think my first exam I got like 72, 74, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that, but it's one of those scores. And I was like, my gosh, well, it's the first exam. That's fine. I'm gonna just leave it be. Maybe I just don't know how to study yet for women's health, because you have a different professor. Every professor tests different. Yada yada yada. Moved on from there. So the next exam, I was like, okay, cool. Let's do this. Let me pull a little bit back from med-surg. I'm not going to do as much focusing on that one because I passed the first one. I just need to keep passing it, and let me try to bring my grade up inside of women's health. So I studied even harder in that. Had another med-surg exam. I passed that one. I think I did a little bit better, but I passed that one, so that was fine. And then, I put so much time into that women's health, I got another 72, 74, whichever one. It was the exact same grade as I got the prior time. And I was like, are we freaking kidding me? And I was talking to the professor, and she's like, what are you doing? And I show her everything I'm doing. I'm studying nonstop. I'm doing practice questions. I'm spending so much time with it. And she's just like, I don't know what to do. And after a while, she's like, wait a second. You're doing these practice questions. I showed her the book that I was using and everything. And she's like, maybe you're actually studying too much. Too much. Me. Yeah, as much as I study. So she said, maybe you're just doing too much. She said, best thing we can do, because some of the practice questions that I've done were different. It was very similar to how the exam questions came up, but the rationale in the practice questions had me do a different answer for the logic, basically. And so I was like, okay, well, she said, let's don't do any practice questions. I was like, this is going to be really difficult, but that's the best thing that we could do. So I had to change my entire study style to where I ended up, I don't like doing this for most courses because and what it is me listening to the lecture again. The reason why I don't like doing it is because I have this OCD. And whenever I listen to things and I'm trying to write things down, I'll go for every single word. And it's very difficult for me to keep going forward, because if I hear something I'm like, I didn't hear that one word, I need to play it back. I got to go through it again because I need to make sure I got every single thing perfect. So I had to basically retrain myself to study a brand new way on my very last semester of nursing school, and at the same time keep my old style for my other course, which was my main course. And then we also had another professional class, but that class was easy. I'm not even going to talk about that one. That class was just fine. So we were doing all the projects for that third class. It was taking some time, but that's not a big deal. My med-surg class, I was still studying for it. And what I started doing is day and night, every second that I had, I was playing a lecture. When I was driving to the gym, when I was driving to class, when I was at home shiny hunting, when I'm just doing anything but studying something else, I was listening to the women's health lecture. And I'm not a woman, so I don't really know what's all going on, so I'm trying to figure everything out. And next exam came up, got a 95. Got a 95. I was so happy. I called the professor over there and I was like, do you see this grade? She's just like, I'm so proud of you. She's like, just gotta do it one more time. I was like, cool. So we and my med surg exam, my med surg, I was actually pulling up, and got to the very end of the semester, and we got the finals coming and everything, and I ended up needing a 60 in women's health to pass, and I think it was also my med surg class. They threw on this other specialty exams called the HESI. It's a predictor to see how you're going to do in the NCLEX. Because for those that don't know, after you pass nursing school, then you have to then go and take the board exams, which is called the NCLEX. And after taking the NCLEX, you are determined whether or not you're going to be able to be a registered nurse. So me going through all of that, they had the HESI exam that was factored into our grade. They said there's no studying for it. We're going to give you an exam like also the day prior to it. It was extremely difficult for me to just be having the stamina to keep going for all these exams. And if you got below a certain amount, it determines that you're not going to do well on the HESI exam, on the actual NCLEX. So it makes you have to do an additional class at the end. And on top of that, you have to pay $300 for it. Yeah, go figure. Yeah. And even after that, I was going to plan on taking it anyway, so it didn't really bother me. But you were required also to do some extra coursework before the end of this school semester. But I knew at first, you were also going to, if you took it, and you didn't do well, they also gave you an opportunity to retake it. So I was like, okay, cool. This is what my plan is. I'm going to take the exams, focus on the regular exams that we normally have. I will, and see how well, do my very best, not really worry about this HESI exam, get whatever grade I get, and then the following week retake it, and because I can actually say, oh, I know what I'm looking at now. Got closer to the exam, they said, hey guys, due to time constraints for the schedule, we have to remove your second chance. Your first chance is what it is. I was like, oh no, y'all did not just do that to me. So needless to say, I didn't do that well on it, so they made me have to take the actual coursework, which was perfectly fine because I was going to do it anyway, like I said. But I ended up having to but a whole bunch of the people in the class, they didn't do well on it, but the professors came and talked to us. They were like, we didn't see the typical students taking the exam. We saw people that were tired. And we were like, well, duh, you saw the schedule. We had an exam. We also had 3 exams right around that same time period. So why would we even take this practice exam, this predictor, and make it determine what we're going to do if we're not even well rested to take it? So it was ridiculous. But needless to say, we did it. And so it ended up hurting my grade on top of that. So I needed to get like a higher in the 60s in order to pass the course for med surg. So the final was coming, and I was freaking out too because I was like, okay, I don't know what they're going to do to us. Is the final going to be super difficult like the previous semester was? I don't know. I'm going to have to dive in and really see how this goes. And in the end, I'll just have to show you this.
The Heart of Nursing Award from the Department of Nursing is voted on by classmates and is awarded to a student at each campus who demonstrates exceptional, caring attitude toward the patients assigned to his or her care, willingly gives of himself or herself to assist others, including classmates, gives 110% effort in all aspects of his or her involvement. The Magnolia campus recipient is Ainsley Villafana.
Ainsley Villafana.
That's right. I actually passed. So I passed the med surg exam. I also passed the women's health. And so everything was good. it was actually one of my very best semesters, honestly, with all overall grades. I mean, like some things set me back, like that HESI predictor, but I wasn't prepared for it. But it is what it is, but it ended up being one of my very best semesters, and so my grades were great that time. And yeah, so we're actually doing really good. I'm now starting at the process where it's time to now prepare for the NCLEX. So had the review course already, or it was 3 days. Now everything aside from that was just preparing for the NCLEX itself, just getting everything ready to take the boards. So next time you all see me, we're going to be getting ready for the board exams and getting ready to go in, or so, whatever, however I do it. But we'll be getting ready for the board exams, and even as a shiny hunt, I still continue to study at the same exact time, and until boards are over. So hopefully we'll see some good results. It's unknown yet, and we'll just take it from there. It's only one way to find out, and I will let y'all know as we get there. So until then, it's gonna be Raikaze signing off. See y'all. Okay, so today is the day. It's what's today? The 12th. Today is the day of me taking the NCLEX exam. So with all the preparation I've been doing after nursing school, all the practice tests that I've been taking, the extra class and everything like that, it all boils down to this. So now let's hope for 75 questions. Even if it goes over, that's perfectly fine. But I don't want to go all the way to 265. My ADHD is going to totally kick in. So I'm definitely going to go in here. About to drink. I just came from the gym, so I'm going to drink my protein shake, try to boost up my sugar level, and have my snacks, take it in there, and just get ready for the exam. Try to calm my nerves down, go in there, breathe, and let's rock this. Time for me to go and get this license. So, more news to come once this is all said and done, but I'm gonna hop in here and take this exam. All right, catch y'all at the next one, everyone. Hopefully, everything will be great. See y'all soon. All right, so the exam is now done. It did not stop at 75, unfortunately, but we had 86 questions. There was also construction going on right below us, apparently, and I made a report about it. They said that they filed a report as well that goes towards the board. So I'm hoping the fact that the exam stopped at 86 was not saying that, hey, you're just doing so horrible that we're just going ahead and cutting you off from the exam. So the test was kind of rough. It was rough, and I'm just hoping that means I just passed it, though, because I think I thought it through. I hope. The only one way to find out, we gotta wait weeks before we are going to supposedly find out, or there's some other site that we can go on to. So I'm going to see if I can access that site within, I think it's like 24 hours. Maybe I can get some results early. If not, then I just gotta wait the 6 weeks and hope that my license is coming through. So exam is done, stopped at 86. It's over, and now all we do is just wait and see whether or not if I am officially an RN or not. So that's pretty much it. Now we got to get ready for a trip, so let me go ahead and start that process, and I'm gonna catch y'all later, hopefully with some good news. See y'all. Okay, so coming at you guys now with some updated information. And I realized that whenever I was talking about the NCLEX in itself, I did not even mention what that was really all about. NCLEX exam is the big state board exams that you take in order to see if whether or not you get your license. I think I did mention that before, but basically how it goes is it is a computerized exam. You can have a minimum of 75 questions, and it can go up to 265. So it's based upon the computer just determining whether or not you will pass or if you will fail, and then it will shut off on you. So at 75 questions, if you're doing completely terrible, let's say in a year, you're definitely not going to pass. It'll cut off, but you don't know if you passed or not. If you get up to 265 questions, you feel really bad because it went all the way up to 265, but you can still pass by taking 265 questions. So at any point, really, you don't really know if you passed or not. So it's a really difficult thing to go through. And with the construction going on, it didn't stop at 75 for me, but it stopped at 86, so it's still closer to 75. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I passed or did it just give up on me at this point? Had no idea. So it was a very, very difficult point to just sit back and wait. So I do want to let you guys know the results are in, and I did pass my exam. So I am now officially a registered nurse, and there's still some more future endeavors in which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go for my BSN to find out how to take my bachelor's in biochemistry, transfer that, and do some more work to accomplishing my bachelor's in nursing. And then after that, I will be deciding whether or not if I'm going to go through the difficult program of becoming a nurse anesthetist or I'll become a nurse practitioner. And then after that, probably a doctor of nursing. But so definitely a lot more steps in my medical career that I'm going to be taking, but the hardest one is now complete. I mean, there's going to be still challenges, but one of the first things was getting the license. So that has been accomplished. I am going to have to look into changing jobs here pretty soon. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now. So just quick update on everything as well. I know this is part of the vlog, but also it's the update of the channel as well. So with everything that is in fact transpiring, going through a lot of changes, relationships, work, and everything. There's a lot of new things in the midst that you all will come to learn about in the near future. So in terms of streams, I did mention that after the vlog, we'll be getting back to everything, and that is what we are going to do. So streams will be returning. Here should be more than likely next week, or if not earlier. I got some things going on out here that is taking my time outside of work, and I'm really just trying to finagle my time frame here. But typically what it will be is on Wednesdays, because that's Wednesdays I do not have work, so I'll typically try to do a stream on Wednesdays. If around that, I will definitely be putting up some more notifications if I'm going to be doing some streams for battles and any special events. Try to get you all some heads up so we can actually be prepared for those. So that is coming up here within the next week, and maybe even sooner if possible. So definitely, if you have not joined the Discord, make sure you do join the Discord. Make sure also you do follow me on Facebook, because there is the link for that. And or you can also follow me on the Instagram as well, because I am going to start putting out pictures and saying, hey guys, we're going to be streaming, or we're not going to be streaming, things like that. So you all will have access, so you know what we're going to be streaming and what we're going to be doing. Now, of course, there's still things that we are still working through in terms of the ideas of Pokemon Sword and Shield. There hasn't been any new information based on that. So when that comes out, we will still be determining that of where we are going with the future of the channel itself and which game or games that we're going to be playing. And I'm working on a few other things in terms of advancing our equipment as well. So there are lots of things that we are working with, but the biggest thing is that we have in fact passed the NCLEX, so we can now stop studying, no more studying for a while, and then we will actually be going into a lot more gaming, trying to finally relax, in addition to working, but you know what I mean. So that has been a great accomplishment. I thank you all for those of you that have in fact stuck by me. For those of you that continue to stay subscribed. I know we lost a ton of subscribers during the period, but it is what it is. Thank you for all of you that did in fact understand the process that which I was going through. And now that we have passed this exam and we are officially a nurse, now it's time to work and also have fun. So next time I will be seeing you all in a live stream. So at this moment in time though, this is going to be the right Kazi signing off. You all know what to do. Train up your Pokemon, get them ready, and stay strong. Catch y'all later.